You need to be smart, my gorgeous Capricornius, right at the beginning of this week. You need to be very clever, very smart, which is exactly what you are. Because, do you know what? To be quite honest with you, something really, something unpredictable, it's actually going to happen. And it's going to put you in this mood, or in this mode, actually. It's going to put you in this mode where you are really going to think about making a certain step or doing something or having some kind of action, but without a strategy or a plan. Now, you must not do this whatsoever. You must not make this impulsive mistake, my gorgeous Capricornius. It is ever so important, because if you make this impulsive mistake, you are going to end up being dissatisfied and disappointed. And that in itself, it's really kind of going to be like so important, because it's a lot to do with you. If you do have this action, you know, without strategy or plan, it's not only about you being dissatisfied and disappointed, but this is pretty much so to do with a poor choice. And at the same time, it's to do with some kind of venture. It's to do with something that you wanted to start and you wanted to begin for a while, but now suddenly you're going to feel so pressurized to do this. But something, you know, your subconscious mind or something deep within is going to be like kind of guiding you. So this is something that you need to pay attention to. And also just look around you. The signs are going to be absolutely everywhere, pointing you right now away from it. And I'm not saying that you should completely stop this venture. It's something that you wanted to do for a while, but then again, it's just now, it's not the right time to do this. Because at the same time, you know, if you kind of make this choice, and even on top of that, this is also going to kind of misdirect your energy. It's like kind of going to block your energy, and it's going to make your ambitions really weak. It's going to really kind of make you feel rather frustrated and uninspirational, and you don't want that. So what are you gonna do? And what do you need to wait for? Well, very shortly after that moment in time, something is gonna surprise you here, my gorgeous Capricornius. Some kind of surprising achievement you are going to become aware of. I mean, this is not going to be absolutely huge. It's not going to be absolutely massive. But because it's going to happen at the moment in time when you're going to feel so exhausted, like almost as if you want to give up. This is why this is gonna be, oh my god, it's gonna be so highlighted. It's gonna be like, oh my god, it's gonna be like really enlightened moment in time. So even if it's a small achievement, you know, it's still going to be like, oh my god, it's still gonna be huge to you. This is gonna be something personal, something significant, something mind-blowing, and that's what's important, and that's what's count. Because this is only the beginning of something much bigger here, you know, and because it's actually going to happen when you're almost exhausted and ready to give up, it's gonna be even more highlighted, something so magical about it, like, oh my god, my gorgeous Capricornius. So this surprising achievement which you are going to have, it's at the same time going to make you aware of exactly what is next in your life. What do you need to focus on in form of putting this as a priority number one, literally. So this is why you need to wait for this, and this is why it's ever so important to not to make this impulsive mistake, because it's only going to stop your growth, you know, not completely, but kind of slow you down at the time when you just need to keep moving and going with this amazing flow. And also at the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Capricornius, there is somebody like very kind of friendly to you, like a really great friend that you're gonna be speaking to, you're gonna be talking to, and you're gonna be talking about very interesting things. You're gonna be talking to that person, that friend of yours, someone who you really get on with, you really amazing person. You're going to be talking to this person about so many things happening that don't make sense, not in your life, not in that person's life, but you're going to be talking about something completely different, like really mysterious things, and you're going to be really enjoying this conversation. You're going to be talking about things that you both don't understand, but you both know they're not good, and something really strange is happening, and really strange is going on, and you're going to be really enjoying this conversation on so many different levels. You're going to tap into so many different things, and you're going to love this so much. And this is going to remind you of the fact how much do you need to reconnect yet again with those people who think like you, whether it's to do with things in general and whether it's to do with your spirituality. Whatever comes to your mind first, this is exactly what you need to do, because there is a very, very big truth awaiting for you there to discover. But also, when it comes to that friend, that person who you're going to be talking to, my gorgeous Capricornius, that person, it's also gonna give you really interesting advice when it comes to you paying attention to some kind of deception, and paying attention to some kind of danger, and paying attention to some kind of dishonesty. And this is going to be really important, because at the same time you will know exactly what do you need to do in order for you not to being taken advantage of. For example, you will know what to be cautious about, but at the same time that person is gonna have such a beautiful impact on you. It's because they've done something really incredible in their lives, and they're quite successful when it comes to their spirituality, but also when it comes to them being materialistic. They've done few things that they're very successful about, but it's more about the actual lifestyle and something that person is doing, and the way that person lives. It's really going to inspire you, and you will kind of really gonna start becoming very kind of enthusiastic about this, because this is bringing like a really interesting initiative into your lives, and you are going to realize that you've got unlimited possibilities how to actually do this. And this is when things are going to start really happening for you so nicely indeed. I mean, you've been waiting for this for quite a while now. So now, my gorgeous Capricornius, it's all about this wonderful unfoldment in your life, and the understanding of how important those special spirits and soul around us actually are, whether they're family members or whether they're our best friends, or whether they are just simply passers-by who are meant to pass at a certain time in our lives through and just give us invaluable information that just kind of becomes that missing puzzle that just kind of makes the whole picture completely different. This is amazing. You understand so much more about yourself and about your life in general. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, you are going to be kind of becoming aware of someone being horrible to somebody else, someone being a bit of a bastard. You're going to become aware of someone being horrible to somebody else, and someone is almost going to be kind of tortured by this person or by a group of people, and you're going to be aware of the fact how someone is saying something really horrible to somebody else, and this is really going to kind of affect you, and it's really kind of going to, oh my god, it's a lot to do with horrible things being said to somebody else, and you are going to feel sorry for that person. But then again, at the end of the day, this is going to be so important, because on one hand, this is going to kind of help you to understand something really weird, and that in itself is going to help you to get a different perspective on what you should be posing with in your life, what you should delay, and what you should wait with in your life. This is ever so important when it comes to, letting go, but also accepting, us not being powerful, powerlessness in our lives, because that happens for a reason. That happens at a time when we fully need to understand that we have to move away and walk away from those things that are making us feel powerless, There you go. But also at the same time, from those things that like we just need to kind of walk away from. So that in itself is so important, because only a couple of days after that moment in time, you are going to really kind of find and see boundless potential, you know, especially when it comes to, you know, this like kind of like you know, there is some kind of inspiration that you're going to have through all this, and that inspiration is going to show you like a boundless potential, and you're gonna like this, you know, so much, because at the same time it's gonna make you feel really really enthusiastic and really optimistic. So and then is somebody you are gonna talk to about this to somebody as well close to you. Again, people in your life are gonna play such a huge role, and that other person that you're gonna speak to, somebody else like closer to you, not the one I mentioned before, but somebody else, that particular person is gonna be so inspired. But what are you going to say, and where exactly are you seeing this boundless potential? Why exactly are you feeling about this the way you feel, and where exactly this is all coming from, and where exactly you are going to take this? And this is going to mean to you so much, how much you are going to inspire somebody else in your life. So it's not that first person here, sorry, I hope it's not too confusing, okay? Sorry, but it's like this other person who you're going to speak to, it's going to be so inspired by you, and the way they're going to be so inspired by you, it's like you're going to realize the whole extent of all this is going to be so much bigger and so much better and so much more amazing, because who you're going to inspire also so much, that particular person is extremely ridiculously intuitive and ridiculously psychic themselves, and you're going to be like, oh my god, do they feel something, you know? And this is going to mean to you so much. And also, my gorgeous Capricornius, you know that there is going to be some kind of like some kind of temptation that you're gonna become aware of. My goodness, you know, there is some kind of temptation that you're going to become aware of, and you really need to avoid this temptation whatsoever. You know, this temptation that you're going to become aware of, that only because you're going to be thinking about something personal, some kind of a personal problem, and that in itself is going to take like a great deal of energy away from you. But you must not allow this to take the better of you, if you know what I mean, because you're gonna come across this like temptation, and it's like almost something that is going to make you feel ambitious and driven, and it's going to give you confidence, but you will know that something is not right about this, you know. So this is something that you have to really avoid. And again, what this temptation is, look, let me show you. Especially when it comes to that temptation, how exactly that temptation is actually going to come to you. How exactly, my gorgeous Capricornius, this temptation is going to come to you. You see, this temptation is going to come to you in a form of where you are going to be having this opportunity to deal with this like burden of yours that was there for such a long time, that is draining your energy, that is sucking the life out of you, my gorgeous Capricornians. Don't worry, it's going to come to an end, it's going to come to an end, it's going to come to an end. Don't worry, not just yet, but you are going to be reminded of that burden, and some kind of a burden here. You see, you're going to be reminded of some kind of burden you've been carrying on your back, bless your heart, for so long. Oh, bless your heart, you're going to be rewarded for that, trust me. So this temptation that you're going to feel is pretty much so, shortcut, how to deal, some kind of a shortcut, how to deal with these burdens, where you're going to become so ambitious, as I said, so like kind of confident, you know, so driven that you're going to do this, but you will know that something is not right. Something is not right here, because it's going to be too good to be true, truth. And then at the same time, because you're Capricornians, you're very much so psychic, so you will know in itself that something is not right here. So you have to avoid this, okay? You know, you have to avoid this, because this is ever so important. Because, you know, if you go for this temptation, not only nothing is going to happen with this burden burden that you've been carried. But on top of that, you know, you're gonna like kind of, you would lose control and you would lose your confidence, you know. So this is why it's like you know, this would affect your progress. So you just have to avoid this temptation. I don't know how to explain this, my gorgeous Capricornius. If something is too good to be true, then just avoid it, you know. So this is what you need to understand, and this is what you need to remember. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Capricornius, it's like, ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la. You are gonna become aware of this very, very interesting opportunity at around the end of this week, okay? But that opportunity is not going to be there at around the end of this week. Like, no, like you're not going to be able to jump in right at the end of this week. Do you understand what I mean? Do you get my drift? Yeah. So it's like this opportunity that you are going to have at around the end of the week. You're only going to become aware of this. Oh my God, that it's very, very soon. It's going to come up. But in order for this opportunity, important opportunity for you to come up, my gorgeous Capricornius, you have to commit yourself to this. You have to commit yourself to this, and you're going to fully understand this. You need to commit yourself to this, because otherwise, so it's all before it even comes to you, before it even happens. You need to like really kind of commit yourself to it, and at that moment in time, you're already planting an important spiritual seed. You're already giving a birth to something really, really big here, indeed. And at the same time, you are gonna need to understand that now it's time to act right now. You know, my gorgeous Capricornius. So this is something that you need to commit yourself immediately to, this opportunity as soon as you become aware of it, because almost as if you're going to be like, oh God, I need to change this, I need to change that. Exactly. Just be optimistic and positive and rather open-minded when it comes to it, and that's how you're going to commit yourself to it before it even starts. But also at the same time, you are going to need to understand that you have to act now. You have to act now for the love of God, especially when it comes to those things. There is something that it's keep on restricting you, and now you are in the flow. And while you are within this spiritual flow, you're also going to have a very, very interesting, weird idea, bold idea, powerful idea, how to do exactly that. And that in itself, it's really going to make you aware of that idea. You know, it's about, with you acting now, you're going to unrestrict yourself. You're not going to be so restricted anymore, because you will know exactly what to do. This idea, it's about you attacking a certain problem in and out, and that in itself is going to leave you with like things that are realistic. You will know what's realistic after that moment in time, and you will know what's not realistic, because it's all gonna lead about you kind of letting go things that no longer serve you, moving on and looking towards different and new options, which are going to make you feel so much happier. They've been around you for such a long time, but only now, my gorgeous Capricornius, you are going to notice them. There you go. You see, I talk without my hands now. I'm able to do that as well, you know. So it's going to show you what you need to let go of, but also by you letting go of things, you are going to be ready for something new, ready for something brand new, which is bringing such a wonderful, mind-blowing energy into your lives. And you're going to notice anyway how different you feel, especially at around the end of the week, especially at around the end of the week. It's always like when we are going through something so big and so important, you know what is a really good sign? Us wanting to do things, you know, spiritual things, and us reconnecting ourselves with on a spiritual level, you know, in spiritual terms. Again, I know I've been saying this before, I'm sorry, but again, you're going to be reminded of something like what you used to do ages ago, but it's to do with your spirituality. You have to do just that, what comes to your mind, like whether it's like, I don't know, what you consider spiritual. It doesn't matter. Maybe you want to, like, I don't know, get some new crystals, or smudge your home, whatever it, but you haven't done this in ages, and you're going to be like, how come this just came to me? And then it's important to follow these sacred rules, okay, of the higher guidance. And that means that whatever comes to you to do, what you haven't done in ages spiritually, You need to understand that as soon as you start this process, there is some kind of realization going to come to you. And this realization that it's going to come to you, it's like, it's gonna be the answer to something that you've been contemplating about for so long, and now suddenly you're gonna feel so strong about this contemplation that just like kind of drained your energy for absolute ages. You will know what is the right thing to do when it comes to that contemplation, and this is going to reflect on your whole life in general in the best possible way. So pay attention to this, my gorgeous Capricornians, because it is rather important. Okay, my gorgeous Capricornians, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.